Hi, I'm Christina from URI 4-H, and I'm a member of the Project Stride team. Today, we're going to learn about the life cycle of a plant. This will help you understand how fruits and vegetables are grown. Some of this information may be things that you've already learned in school, while some of it may be new to you. So, let's get started learning about the life cycle of plants. Before we start, let's discuss what plants need in order to grow and survive. Just like humans and animals, plants need food, water, and air to live. Not all plants grow in the same environment, and therefore they all need different things to thrive. Over time, plants adapt to their conditions, just as humans and animals do. For example, a cactus in a dry desert environment has adapted to need less water than other plants in order to survive. Today, we will focus on plants that produce fruits and vegetables. I bet if you go into your fridge at home, you can find a fruit or a vegetable with seeds inside. Did you know that by taking these seeds and planting them in a pot, or even in the ground outside, you could potentially grow another plant? Let's talk about how we can do that. The first thing a plant needs to survive is light. Without the warmth from the sun, a seed will not germinate. Germination is when the roots and the shoot begin to grow out from the seed. Plants also need the sun to get their energy, the same way us humans get our energy from food. Plants get energy by absorbing sunlight through their leaves. This process is called photosynthesis. When plants do not get enough sunlight, they may grow tall yet very flimsy and weak. This is because they are searching for light. Without sunlight, photosynthesis will not occur and the plant will not have the energy it needs to grow and survive. Remember, plants are living organisms and they have systems just like we do. They have a metabolism to digest their food and a system similar to our immune system to fight off bugs and diseases. Without these systems that fuel them, the plants would die. The second thing a plant needs to survive is air. Plants need air to perform photosynthesis and make their food. We already know plants need sunlight to photosynthesize, but they also need air for the process to work. Plants take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Oxygen is the air we breathe, while carbon dioxide can build up in the atmosphere and become harmful to humans. Plants absorb harmful carbon dioxide and produce healthy oxygen. This is why saving plants is so important. For example, by saving and preserving the rainforest, we help to prevent air pollution because the trees in the rainforest provide us with oxygen that keeps animals and humans alive and thriving. The third thing plants need to survive is water. As we talked about earlier, plants need more or less water depending on their environment. Water is very important in hot environments because plants use water to cool off. How? Plants cycle water through their leaves to absorb the heat of the sun. This is similar to how you may spray yourself with water on a hot day to cool off. Plants must stay cool and hydrated in the same way you and I do so that they can function and survive. The final thing a plant needs to survive are soil and nutrients. Just like humans, plants have several vitamins and minerals that they need to grow. These vitamins are found in the soil, and plants absorb the vitamins from the soil through their roots. The roots also absorb any water that is trapped in the soil. Speaking of roots, let's quickly review the parts of a plant. Let's begin with the roots. The roots of a plant are where all the nutrients and the water are absorbed. Additionally, the roots act like an anchor on a boat to hold the plant in one place in the ground. Without roots, a gust of wind could destroy the whole plant. The stem of a plant transports the food and water from the roots to the rest of the plant. I like to think of it like the veins in our bodies. Next, the leaves. As we talked about, the leaves are very important. The leaves absorb sunlight to create fuel for the plant. Do you remember the word for this process? That's right, photosynthesis. The flowers of a plant contain pollen. Insects and birds are attracted to brightly colored flowers and spread the pollen from one plant to another plant. The pollen is produced by the male part of the flower, and it fertilizes the female part of the flower. This is how the plant reproduces and grows more plants. The next part of the plant is the fruit. The female part of the flower is what becomes the fruit. If you watch the flower on a plant every day, you would see how over time the center of the flower swells up and becomes the fruit. Finally, inside the fruit are the seeds. Animals, wind, or people transport these seeds to new locations. This is good because the seeds do not have to compete with the parent plant for resources or space as they grow. Picture a dandelion. You've probably all seen how yellow dandelion flowers change into white puffy seeds. When you make a wish and blow on the white puffy dandelion, you're spreading the seeds to a new location. The wind does a very good job of this, and it's the reason why you may find an entire field covered in dandelions. All plants that flower generally live and grow in the same way. If you've helped out in the garden or grown plants in your own home, then you've probably already seen the life cycle of a plant in action. Let's explore how a seed becomes a plant. The life of a plant begins with the seed. Once you plant and water a seed, it begins to germinate. The root pushes out through the seed coat. The seedling grows out of the ground. The stem grows up toward the sunlight. The leaves unfurl and begin to make their own food. Flowers bloom, spread pollen, and grow into fruits that contain seeds. New seeds are formed and scattered. This is called dispersion. Now let's take a look at the process in detail by looking at the life cycle of a pea plant. The first step in the life cycle of a plant is the seed. The seed needs to be planted in soil, either in a pot inside your home or outside directly into the soil. You likely have seeds in your home right now. You may have green beans or snap peas like I'm showing you in this photo, or maybe you have tomatoes in your fridge. Did you know that you could pop out the seeds from these fruits and vegetables, dry them, and plant them? Once you plant and water a seed, it begins to germinate. This means it will start to grow, and the root will push out through the seed coat. Remember, the roots usually grow underground and are important to anchor the plant and give it nutrients and water. The shoot grows up and emerges from the soil. The shoot will continue to grow into the stem and leaves and become a seedling. The stem continues to get taller and taller, and the leaves unfurl. Remember, the stem helps the plant stand upright. It also has tiny tubes inside that transport water and nutrients from the roots to the rest of the plant. The stem and leaves reach for the sun. The leaves soak up the light and the air to make food for the plant. This process is called photosynthesis. Flowers begin to bloom. The flowers contain pollen and attract insects and birds. Flowers and pollen are required to produce the next stage of the plant life cycle. The flower transforms into the fruit, which contains the seeds needed to make another plant. This is called flowering or fruiting. New seeds are formed inside the fruit. A human may eat the fruit and plant its seeds in the soil. The seeds could also be spread by an animal or by the wind. A fruit that isn't eaten by a human or animal drops to the ground. As the fruit rots, its seeds are exposed and begin to grow right there in the soil. The best way for seeds to grow is when they are spread out and do not have to compete for space with the parent plant. The plant cycle starts again. Pretty cool, huh? I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Christina from Team Stride. Thank you for watching.